Hi guys, so I wanted to see how well you could scale down and 3D print out miniatures. So I thought I'd try it out on this nice chunky barbarian. And I got this fella over at my mini factory by the talented Across the Realms people. There will be a link in the description, guys. Go and give it a click and have a look at all the fantastic miniatures they do. So yes, this is the guy that I've gone for. As usual, I'm doing it on my Anycubic Photon M3. So obviously simple thing, open up the software, drag my little person onto it. As you can see, it comes pre-supported, which is awesome. Because as you may have noticed, I haven't mentioned in my previous videos, when it comes to doing supports, I'm pretty pants at putting in supports. So I do love it when the miniatures obviously already have them, which makes things lovely and easy. And all you got to do, yeah, copy and paste, and voila, there's another little figure. And this is the reason why I love 3D printing. The fact that not only can you sort of make whatever you want, and within an hour or so you've got it printed, but you can also mess about and change the size. And that's exactly what I've done here. So I've literally reduced it down by 50%, so 50% of the size, and yeah, there's a big barbarian with a little mini me, which is pretty awesome. So the great thing here is you can scale these miniatures as large as you want or as small as you want, and obviously they don't lose any of their sort of definition. They kind of scale like vector images, which is pretty cool. And then it's a simple case of popping it on a USB, pop that in the side of the machine, push a couple of buttons, and away she goes. So I think this print was about an hour and 10 minutes, give or take. And then, yeah, there you go. There's one lovely meaty looking barbarian and one diddy looking, still meaty, barbarian. Yeah, awesome. So I love the fact they have come out nice and crisp, nice and clean. So these have been washed and cured. It is a case of just taking the supports off. For some reason though, normally when I take the supports off, I do pop these in some hot water. Just because it makes these supports come off nice and clean. For some reason I didn't do that on this one. But yeah, again, because these supports are done by a professional, they do sort of come off nice and easy, which is good. But yeah, generally guys, if you do put these in some sort of warm water, it does soften it all up and makes the supports come off so much easier. Yeah, it didn't have any problems here. There's just a little bit there near the chin. Obviously get your scalpel and yeah, just remove that. And yeah, two lovely looking figures. Yeah, it's first time really printing something so small, and yeah, really pleased with, well, one, how it looks obviously from the file, and two, how well the Anycubic M3 did at producing something so well. So did he. So usual thing, obviously going to give them sort of a coat of paint. I'm going to paint them both at the same time, because obviously that way I can do sort of whatever I do to one, I can then just repeat the process on the other. And yeah, as you can see, the good old barbarian skin is what I'm putting over them. Yeah, nice and simple, nice and easy. So obviously when I did the first one, I then obviously picked up the little chap, because obviously he is so much smaller. Even though my paintbrush here is quite small, I do change it out for an even smaller paintbrush. So again, this is the first time painting something that is well, is very small. Yeah, I wasn't too sure how well I'd be able to do it. Obviously my painting skills, yeah, they're alright, they're not bad. But obviously wearing glasses, I do generally have to have these miniatures up close to my face. Which obviously makes it very difficult for me to then try and film what I'm doing. Because obviously they are very near me, so it's difficult to get a camera well, between my face and the image or miniature or whatever it is I'm painting. But yeah, this little chap, he wasn't too bad. Obviously it is just a case of being a little bit more careful. But obviously the good thing here is it uses a whole lot less paint. Well, obviously half, which kind of makes sense, or maybe even more than half. But yeah, so painting him wasn't too bad at all. Obviously there's quite a lot of definition on him and some small bits and pieces, which I do try and sort of pick up later on. But yeah, no, again, it's really funny doing these both together, just because the size comparison obviously is quite extreme. Even though he's 50% sort of smaller, he just feels so much smaller. But yeah, no, again, I'm really pleased how they both came out. So the big one I would definitely be using obviously as a player, or maybe even as a fiend monster, that kind of thing, in the D&D campaigns. And the small guy, obviously he won't be in any of the campaigns because he is just so diddy. Plus I haven't got any bases for these ones, because obviously I like to use clear bases. And I haven't got any for this small for him. Although, that being said, I could print out some clear bases on the Anycubic M3. Yeah, guys, I did mention last time the Anycubic, they are doing a lot of sales for the summer months. So go check out their website if you are looking at or thinking about buying a 3D printer. Link in the description, as they do have well, a lot of discounts on pretty much most of the printers they do, which is pretty cool. And yeah, so then both of them are now painted. Yeah, pleased with how they've turned out. So nice and simple, and then good old wash. So yeah, doing a good old brown wash on both of these, just because obviously I love the effect of a wash, making things look a bit more defined, a bit more weathered, a bit more used sort of thing. Especially this chap, obviously all these muscles, they can definitely be seen a lot more with obviously the darker sort of colour there in the recesses, which is pretty cool. So yeah, obviously did the big guy. I did him first, I think, for everything I was doing, and then obviously go on to the little guy. And obviously the little guy again uses not a lot of paint at all. So yeah, it's another good reason for obviously doing miniatures at 15mm scale. Is obviously there's a lot more savings obviously on the printing, on the resin to sort of print him out. Definitely obviously on the paint and time. Yeah, obviously a lot quicker on everything. So yeah, I might do a lot more miniatures this sort of size. And that's them both done. Again, yeah, very pleased with how they both come out. Yeah, nothing more to say there. They look identical, other than the size, which is pretty cool. So say it again. So the big guy, he will be used in some sort of D&D campaigns or one-shots. So that's why I'm going to stick him on a clear base. As for the little chap, obviously no clear base for him. But it's a shame because obviously they're weighted in a way that they won't actually stand up on their own. So obviously if I do use a little chap in some sort of diorama, he would actually be sort of glued in place, so he wouldn't go anywhere. So I thought obviously doing the Barbarian, he is nice and chunky, and obviously because he's chunky he will print out really well at a smaller scale. So I thought I'd have a go at printing out a Halfling, Halfling rogue there, he's very small, nice sort of little dwarf, as well as some skeletons. Because obviously the skeletons are things that come out pretty sort of skinny looking at the 28mm. So to have them even smaller could cause problems. But printed out really well. Unfortunately I was in a bit of a rush to take the supports off, which is why I broke the shield and then broke his foot. But that was my impatience. So with obviously the other guy, I'm using my scalpel to sort of cut away the supports just to make that a whole lot easier. And yeah, a much better job. Again, for some reason, don't know why, I didn't put these in warm water, which again makes things so much easier, because rather than them being sort of brittle, they're a lot softer and squishier and just come apart well. But yeah, using the scalpel, so he's come out really well. So this is a Halfling, so obviously he's smaller than my Barbarian guy there, and just as a comparison, obviously this is him next to a normal size D&D sort of miniature. So yeah, they all come out really well. So I'm definitely pleased with these skeletons, because they are generally the things that are very small and spindly, because obviously they're, well, skeletons. I just want to say a big thank you to all my patrons for helping support the channel, as well as the sponsors, because obviously this does mean I can continue to keep making these kind of videos. And if you guys want to become a patron, there's a link down below, and you can get to see well, basically early images and videos of what I'm currently working on. So yeah, go check that out, guys. So yes, I'm definitely going to be sort of making some dioramas using these smaller figures. I don't know if I'd use them in actual campaigns or not, I'm not too sure. But obviously the good thing here is I can print out a dragon, and as you can see it's only a little bit bigger than my normal sort of D&D character, which means I can make a nice sort of sized diorama that isn't too big. Because I've been wanting to make some large dioramas for ages, but obviously my workspace isn't very big, and also I haven't got much room to store things. And again, same with the buildings, I can print them out miniature scale, and yeah, they look really well. So I'm definitely doing some dioramas with these miniature things, which would fit well with my channel, obviously being called Miniature Hobbyist. So I might actually finally be doing some sort of miniature builds, which would be pretty cool. I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, all that kind of good stuff. And if you can, guys, please share this. If each of you could share it somewhere, that would just be awesome. Anyway, you guys take care. Bye for now.